Hello students, welcome to the class of commerce. Today we are going to start with chapter number 2 of ISC class 12th, that is fixed and working capital. This is the recommended book which we are using in our school, and I expect all the students to go through the book after the lecture gets over so that you remember the points for longer period of time. Today we are going to do these topics in this lecture: nature of business finance, importance of finance for business, source of finance for different types of business firms, financial planning, and factors affecting capital structure. I request students to sit with their books so that they can get my points easily, as we are not dealing with face-to-face classes. Okay, sir. So what do you mean by capital? Capital is any amount which is invested in the business to start a business or for the proper functioning of business. So, what do you mean by business finance? Business finance refers to the money and credit employed in the business. वो सारा पैसा जो बिजनेस में लगा हुआ है. And as you know, business can be of any type. Either it can be trading, it can be manufacturing, it can be small, it can be large. So business finance is concerned with acquisition of fixed assets and utilization of capital for meeting the financial need of business. As you know, finance is most important for every business. If there is no finance, there will not be any business. You may be good enough to tackle the business, to handle the business. You may have great ideas, but if you don't have finance to start that business, then how the business can come into existence without the help of finance? So finance is the backbone of every business, or it's a lifeblood of every business. So first topic of your book is nature of business finance. So what are the characteristics of business finance? Here are the points given. I have made these points for you students. Okay, business finance is needed in all types of business. As you know, in every business you need finance, because without finance you cannot even start a business, whether it is a small business or a large business, or a manufacturing business or a trading business, whether an industry. Every business needs finance for its operation. If there is no finance, then how the operation can take place? The next point is, it includes all types of funds used in business. There are different kinds of funds. You have studied in class 11th. There are certain type of businesses, forms of private sector business, forms of public sector, isn't it? You have studied about partnership, you have studied about sole proprietorship, you have studied about joint stock company. All requires funds for its operation, isn't it? So funds may be internal or external, which we are going to study in detail. Internal is when we, the owner, invest into the business, and external when the outside person invest in our business. That is known as external funds. Moreover, when we take loan from our relative or from bank, that is also a fund which we are engaged from outside, and that's why it is termed as debt. Okay, is my point clear to you? Now the third point is, the amount of business finance differ from business to business. As you know, if business is having large operations, then it requires large funds. If business is small, it requires small funds. It depends on business. Like jewelry business requires more fund as compared to retail shops, isn't it? And scale of operation, if more finance is required, that means large operation is taking place. And if business is small or the scale of operation is less, then the required amount of finance is required to be less. For an example, industry. Now the requirement of sugar industry, finance for sugar industry is different, and at the same time finance for shipbuilding companies is different. Shipbuilding company require huge amount of funds as compared to sugar industry. Is my point clear to you? Now we will move on to the next topic, that is importance of finance for business. So as I already told you, finance is the lifeblood of every business. No business firm can carry on its operation smoothly without finance. It's a lifeblood of business, isn't it? Finance is required for acquiring fixed assets, for making payments, for establishing enterprises, for expansion, for growth, modernization, for all purposes finance is required, isn't it? Then the firm can pay liability in time. If the liabilities are paid on time, then the credit worthiness of the firm increases, its image improves in the eyes of the investors. Finance is required for that purpose. The firm can carry on its business smoothly. For, as I told you, for every purpose finance is required. For making payment, if you want to make payment to your staff, if you don't have finance, how you are going to pay to your staff? Then if you are not going to pay to your staff, then why they are going to work for you, isn't it? So finance is required for that. Then purchase of fixed assets, which helps in the production. Then if you don't have finance, then how you can purchase? Then finance helps to bridge the gap between production and sales. So there is a time period between the production and sales. You understood my point or not? Means till production the expenses take place, and when we get the revenue at the time of sales. So if you have sufficient amount of fund, then only you will be able to meet your expenses. First production will start, and then only sales will take place. So first will be your expense, and then there will be revenue generation. So if you have finance, then only you can make the payment for the raw material, for the workers, for the staff, employees, for the general managers, isn't it? Then if you have finance, the business can take advantage of business opportunities. There are certain business opportunities available, and if you don't have the finance, how you are going to capitalize on these business opportunities? You need to have a finance available, isn't it? I hope all these points are clear to you. Then we will move on to the next topic, that is source of finance for different types of business form. So there are different types of business form. First one is sole proprietorship business. Then how this sole proprietor can engage funds. Think, yes, correct. He can invest from his side, correct. That is his own capital. Then he can ask loan from relative, he can ask from loan from friends, he can approach financial institution, he can approach banks, okay. Gold loan he may take, isn't it? So many, yes, correct. He may take loan from commercial bank and other financial institution. Yes or no? He can take a loan from the his relative, his friends. So or and he may also get the goods on credit in which he is dealing. Yes or no? That is also finance. He may ask his supplier to make the payment after he commits the sale. Up to that time he may purchase raw material or the goods, finished goods, on credit. So these are the different source of finance to sole proprietor business. Then we have partnership firm. Then here partners can contribute, like two partners are there, then the capital will be invested by two partners. If there are more partners, then more capital can be introduced. Apart from this, facility is not available to sole proprietor because he is single owner. But in case of partnership, the capital can be introduced by the different partners. as well as they can approach to financial institution, they can approach to bank, they can ask credit from the suppliers, and they can ask advance payment from the customers. So these are the source to the partnership firm. Then what are the source for joint stock company? You have studied about all these forms of business in class 11th in detail, so I expect from you that you remember all the features of these types of businesses, because we have a detailed study in class 11th. Okay, joint stock company, yes sir, correct. They can issue shares, they can issue debentures, they can have public deposit, they can have retained earnings, correct. They can approach bank for long term as well as short term finance, they can approach other financial institutions. Yes, they can have again raw materials, they can enter corporate deposits. There are so many sources for the joint stock company, because company is manifold bigger and large in operation as compared to sole proprietorship and partnership. And remember, we are talking here about joint stock company. Okay, I hope these points are clear to you. Now we will move on to the next topic, that is financial planning. So what do you mean by financial planning? Is the process of estimating the financial requirement, kitna fund chahiye, how much fund is required and why it is required, and how you are going to utilize that fund, isn't it? All these is based on financial planning. I hope this point is clear to you. Why you need the funds, how you are going to utilize that funds. Okay students, this features of financial planning is derived from the definition itself. As I told you, how much fund is required, how it is to be utilized, what is the source of fund, which is the cheapest source of fund, all this. What is this? This is decision making, isn't it? So financial planning involves decision making process, and like other planning, it is also future oriented, because how we are going to utilize the fund, and what is the aim of financial planning? To engage funds in cheapest way and making sure that they are utilized in the best possible way without any wastage. Sometimes it may be possible that if you are not planning, then you end up in wastage of funds, like you need 1 crore rupees for expansion and you acquire from loan 1 crore 50 lakh rupees, then that 50 lakh will be a wastage of money. It will be wasted here and there if you don't plan it properly. So it's future oriented, it is for the future purpose, and it involves forecasting. Then wider scope, it has very wide scope because it helps in estimating the amount of fixed capital and working capital needed in business. सर ये fixed capital और working capital क्या है? Fixed capital is the source of funds which are utilized in acquisition of fixed capital. And what is working capital? The amount which is required for the day-to-day operations. This we are going to study in detail about both the capital fixed and fluctuating in detail in the coming topics. But for now, fixed capital, as I told you, is amount which is invested in the purchase of fixed assets, or which are invested in fixed assets, and working capital is the amount which is invested in day-to-day operation of the business. The estimating of required fund, formulating policies for the use of funds, how we are going to utilize the funds, how we are going to dispose our earnings, all these topics are concerned with फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग. कितना कितना चाहिए हमें फंड, कहाँ कहाँ चाहिए, कैसे, क्या क्या चीज़ें हमें उससे लेनी है, ऑल दिस आर द मैटर्स ऑफ फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग. ओके, now we will move on to the next topic, that is importance of financial planning. The first point is a sound financial plan helps a business enterprise to avoid the problems of shortage. This is shortage, not shortage. Okay, spelling is wrong. It's shortage. Okay, एंटी को काट दो. Shortage and surplus of funds. Shortage and surplus of funds. See, if you are not good financial planner, then what you will end up in, you will end up in either shortage of fund, like if you the requirement is of 50 lakh, you by incorrect financial planning you may go for 40 lakhs, and so there will be 10 shortage of 10 lakh rupees. And if you have not calculated the amount properly, not planned it properly, then if you have taken more than 50 lakh, then it will be surplus, which will be kept as idle and it will be wasted. You may, most of the students, if you have so many dreams that if I get 500 rupees I will do this, I will do that, and at times when your parents give you 500 without your knowledge, then what happens, you expend it anywhere without plan, isn't it? So it ends up in wastage. Okay, then the next point, guides in developing a sound capital structure. What is this capital structure? See, in a company especially, we can engage from several sources. Okay, you have studied about equity and debt. Equity is the capital introduced by the owner and debt is the external capital introduced from the external sources, that is termed as debt, like loans, like the issue of debentures. So if you don't have a sound capital structure, it will have a bad impact on the, yes, on the company, because shareholders want maximum return on the capital invested. We have to maintain proper balance between the equity and the debt funds. So that is guides in developing a sound capital structure. We are going to study this capital structure in detail. Then helps in effective utilization of fund. How? Funds can be allocated for various projects and in accordance with their relative significance, जो जितना जरूरी है. For that purpose only, if we have planned in previous, we can utilize that fund according to the, yes, significance. Then the next point is it prepares business to face shocks and jolts. What is this shocks and jolts? See, every business conditions are uneven. Some have stability and other have more unevenness. Like if we talk about this lockdown, so this has proved shocks and jolts for many businesses because they have not planned it prior. So if your financial planning is sound, you can utilize your past fund to face such situation, isn't it? So there can be any surprise in the future and we cannot estimate all such shocks. So we need to have proper funds to face such problems, isn't it? Okay, sir. Now moving on to the next topic, that is factors of financial planning. So while formulating a financial plan, what should be kept in mind? So first one is nature of industry. What is the nature of the industry, whether it is a capital intensive or what, labor intensive, isn't it? So we have to utilize the fund accordingly. What is the requirement of the fund? Capital intensive, there is more capital required as compared to labor intensive. Yes or no? For expansion and growth we require more capital, isn't it? Okay, sir. Then the next point is objectives. The basic financial objective is the procurement of funds at the lowest and the best possible way, isn't it? This is the objective कि हमें फंड्स को अवेलेबल कराना है और चीपेस्ट वे में. सर चीपेस्ट वे, वी डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस चीपेस्ट वे. लिसन स्टूडेंट्स, सी इफ यू आर गोइंग टू get the funds from debt, that means if you are going for loan, then there is an interest to be paid. If you are taking if you are issuing debentures, then also it carries interest and which is to be paid regularly. At the same time, you have the option of equity, but they require dividends are paid to the equity shareholders and preference shareholders. So we have to keep in the mind that how much fund we need and in the cheapest way. Is this point clear to you? We can, that is known as cost of financing. For an example, you go to bank and ask bank for loan of 10 lakh rupees. So do you think that you have to return 10 lakh rupees? No sir, we have to pay interest as well. So the interest you means you will be ending up paying banks somewhere around 12 lakh rupees. So that 2 lakh rupees is the cost of financing. आपको 10 लाख रुपए लेने के लिए 2 लाख रुपए और देने पड़ेंगे. That is known as cost of financing. So you have to look for the sources which will pay you better result or which is less costlier. Is this point clear to you? And then the next point is size of the firm. So every firm requires fund, as you know. So for the steady growth and expansion, you require more funds, and for that purpose you have to check the risk, because as I told you, business is unforeseen. Business faces unforeseen changes, and for that purpose financial planning is very much required. Is this point clear to you? So you want the funds and procurement of funds and with the most less risky way. Then capital market conditions, you see whether if trading on equity means investor are risk taker, then it is better to issue equity shares or raise fund through issue of shares. And if the investors are cautious, then you can issue debentures. Is this point clear to you? Because debenture holders are more cautious, they want fixed return, and the investors who are seeking investment in the equity, they want more returns, isn't it? Next point is government regulations. Financial policies and regulations of the government affects the availability as well as cost of funds. Like if there's reduction in the rate of interest on loan, so the cost of debt will be reduced. That means if you are taking loan, the cost of loan will be reduced. Then the degree of risk, you have to maintain the ratio of debt and equity, because there may be problems of procuring fund if there is no proper balance between equity and debt. If equity increases, it results in dilution of control, and if debt is more, it puts burden of interest on the company. Yes. Okay, now moving on to the last topic of this lecture, factors affecting capital structure. What is the capital structure? The manner, the composition of the funds. Which funds? Long-term funds. That is known as capital structure. The manner you have engaged the funds in your business, that is known as capital structure. As you know, funds can be either borrowed or owner's fund. That means either you can engage funds through issue of shares or through retained earnings, and you can also take loan from financial institutions. You can also issue debentures. They are termed as borrowed funds or debt. Debentures, loan taken from outside the business outside the company, that is no termed as borrowed funds or debt, on which you have to pay interest. And what are owners fund? Like equity shares, preference shares, retained earnings, these are owners fund. Okay, so you have to keep a balance between equity and debt. For an example, you need fund of 50 lakh rupees. So how you are going to engage that 50 lakh rupees, that is termed as capital structure. उस 50 लाख रुपए को आप कैसे बिजनेस में लाओगे, जो तरीका, द सोर्स क्या है, that is termed as capital structure. You have so many sources, as I told. You can issue equity shares, you can issue preference shares, you can have retained earnings, that means past profits. Retained earning means profit set aside for future, that is known as retained earning. Past year ke profit, unutilized funds, that is known as retained earnings. Okay, these all words, retained earnings, preference shares, equity share, debentures, public deposit, loans, which we are going to study in detail in chapter number 3, the coming chapter. Okay, in this just you have to understand how you are going to engage the funds, that is termed as capital structure. Whether you can have debt, that means आप बाहर से पैसे ले सकते हो, issue of debentures, then what you have to pay to them, that is known as cost of financing. You have to pay interest to them. Are you getting my point? For an example, if you have to introduce 50 lakh rupees for long term purposes, how you can utilize these funds? For an example, 50 lakh rupees, तो आप कैसे कैसे कर सकते हो इसको? How you can engage this? Either you can have equity shares. For an example, equity shares you can issue 20 lakh, you have issued and get. Then preference shares, for an example 10 lakh. Then your loans you can take 15 lakh. Then debentures of 10 lakh. Is this clear? So how much money? 40. Oh, it's more, then we have to reduce one amount. For an example, it is 5 lakh. Okay, 5 lakh. Then you can also have from public deposit 5 lakh rupees. Okay, 5 lakh it is. Okay, so this is the manner. So what is debt? These 3 points are debt here, that means external funds. These 3 are external funds and these 2 are owners fund. Is this point clear to you? So in this man, this is source, you can engage 50 lakh rupees. So how you are going to plan, how much amount? These are the imaginary figures, but in reality you may issue only 10 lakh equity shares, you may have retained earnings. So there are various combination available, and the combination you choose, that is termed as capital structure. Is this clear? So in this case, the debt equity will be how much debt you choose. You choose debt equal to 20 lakh, isn't it? 20 lakh debt, and equity was how much? Yes, 30 lakh. So this proportion is termed as capital structure. You can change it, either it can be debt, you may have issued more debentures and the debt may be equal 25 means debt 25, equity 20. So the manner of composition of your capital structure is termed as capital structure. Okay, now so if you have issued more debentures or more, you have more debt, then you call it as trading on thin equity. And when you have more equity in your capital structure, then it is termed as trading on thick equity. You can write the points or you can read it from your textbook. Okay, trading on thin equity and trading on thick equity. Is this point clear? What is the trading on equity? See, when you have more borrowed funds, then you have to pay interest to them and you get the benefit of tax. Okay, this is the point of financial management, and in our part B of accountancy we are going to deal this capital structure numerical portion. Is this point clear? Okay, then first point is trading on equity. What is it, trading on equity? See, when the company is having more borrowed funds, then they will be paying interest and the benefit of tax deduction will be there, and the shareholders will get more dividends when the profit is more, because the rate of interest are fixed. Is this point clear to you? Then the second point is cost of financing. I have been telling in this lecture about cost of financing. See, if you want 10 lakh rupees, so you can issue the shares, you can issue preference shares. So 2 shares we are paying dividends, and dividends are only paid when there are sufficient profit. If there is no sufficient profit, then dividend is not compulsory to be paid, but interest is compulsory to be paid. Either you are taking loan or debentures, so they can even ask for the winding up of the company. There are certain benefits of issue of shares and debentures and their disadvantages, which we are going to study in chapter number 3. So the cost of finance, how much it will cost you. Is this clear? If you are paying interest at a rate of 10% for 10 lakh, so until and unless the 10 lakh rupees is repaid, you have to pay the interest on it. That is known as cost of financing. Moreover, you have to pay the commission to the underwriter for the issue of shares. So many things are there. So that is the cost at time. Means if you want 10 lakh rupees, you will have to pay more than 10 lakh rupees to get that 10 lakh rupees. That is known as cost of financing. I hope this point is clear to you. Then the period and purpose of financing. How long you need the finance and what is the purpose. Is this clear? For short term purpose, you can have loan from the commercial banks, isn't it? For short term funds, you can issue, no need to issue the shares. Okay, or you can issue preference shares and so on. It depends on the period and the purpose why you need the finance. Then exercise of control. See, if you issue equity shares, though you have to pay dividend only at the time of sufficient profit, but it will dilute the control, because they are the owner of the company, and once a person become the owner of the company, then their right, they have certain rights which is to be given to the owner of the company. So in that case, you can issue debentures, because debentures, though you have to pay them interest, but debenture holders does not interfere in the working or decision making of the company. That is the right of the owner, shareholder, but not of the debenture holders. Okay, then the next point is nature of business. See, if you are a regular business or you have spent a lot of time in the same business, then you can issue your shares, because the investor will be keen in purchasing the share of a company who is doing business from a long period of time. But at the same time, the new companies, it will be difficult for them to make their shares subscribed. Is this point clear? Because investor will not keen to purchase the share of a new company. And then the last point is need for flexibility. See, there should be a flexible capital structure. You should have proper amount of equity and debt, because if equity is more, then the control is diluted, and when debt are more, then you have the burden of interest. Is this point clear? Burden of fixed charge. So you have to make a capital structure in such a manner that it suits the company. Is this point clear to you? Then there are certain other points which you can read from your book, like market conditions, statutory requirement. See, the Companies Act is applicable on the issue of shares and debentures. So you have to issue the shares and debentures accordingly. The needs of investor, you have to see whether the investor is cautious or risk taking. If investors are risk taking, then it is good to issue equity shares, but when the investors are cautious, then it is good to issue debentures. Okay, then cash flow position, if you have sufficient amount of cash, then you can issue debentures, because you have to pay interest to the debenture holders. Okay, so you go through these points and then you can ask doubts. Okay, so I hope you are enjoying your online classes. If you have any difficulty, if you encounter something which is not as good as face to face, then you can communicate it to me. Okay students, take care, bye bye.